times, thank you for showing up. It is so important that you showed up. I've said it before, and I will say it again. The only thing that can stop a crowd of fascists is a bigger crowd of anti-fascists. We show up because we know that fascism isn't creeping. It is here. We see it in the way that the Gestapo, ICE are violently ripping families apart, keeping thousands of people in cages and camps. We see it in the way that congresswomen of color are being told to go back to where they came from by our white supremacist president. We see it in the way that neo-Nazis are mobilizing in cities all across the country, committing massacres here and around the world at synagogues and mosques inspired by rhetoric of people like Trump and Netanyahu and Bolsonaro who stand together as a united front. Last Monday was the anniversary of the murder of Heather Heyer in Charlottesville by a Nazi who drove into a crowd of anti-fascists just like this one. A reminder that we will mourn the dead and we will fight like hell for the living. Some people like our millionaire Mayor Ted Wheeler say that we shouldn't show up to these actions, but we know what happens when we don't show up. As my comrade who spoke just before me said, they are here looking for a fight and they won't stop until they get one. If we weren't here, they would go out and find random bystanders who are by themselves and beat them up or worse. This happened when they tried to disrupt our DSA meetings. It's happened in the city many times. And this is why we show up. By not being here today, by discouraging people from showing up, our city leaders are practically rolling out a red carpet for fascist recruitment. So it's up to us to show up, to outnumber them, to run them off our streets, because these aren't their streets. Whose streets?
Our streets!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
Whose streets?
Our streets!
Ted Wheeler and Danielle Outlaw have also kicked around a proposal banning masks, but we know that this is a blatant violation of our rights. Blaming masks is just another little move in their dance to avoid acknowledging the real problem. The Max stabber was not wearing a mask. The El Paso shooter was not wearing a mask. The New Zealand murderer was not wearing a mask. Masks are not the problem. Fascism is the problem. And if you are too scared to see it or acknowledge it, then you sure as hell shouldn't be in charge of a city that is under attack by it. And all of this goes for asshole centrist talking heads like Jake Tapper and everyone who eats up the shit he sells, constantly villainizing anti-fascists and playing right into the hands of Trump in his attempt to classify anti-fascists as terrorists. When your grandchildren ask you what you were doing when the fascists were on the rise in 2019, you can be the ones to tell them you enabled it because you didn't like it when some protesters wore masks. I am the proud daughter of an Arab Muslim immigrant. Some of you may know that I worked for an organization in town for immigrants and refugees for several years. After Patriot Prayer supporter Jeremy Christian murdered people on a MAX train here, I spent every day at home and at my job silently panicking, thinking that another white supremacist might show up and commit violence against immigrant and refugee communities, my coworkers, my friends, my family, the people that I love. Over the past year, the same crowd that Jeremy Christian ran with continued to attempt to disrupt our DSA meetings and events. They continued to threaten us online and follow us in person or send their little messenger Andy note to dox us. Those of us who belong to the communities being targeted by fascists know that not showing up is not an option. This is not a case of it could happen here. It has happened here, and it will happen again unless we put a stop to it. The state will not protect us. The police will not protect us. We are the only ones who protect us. We keep us safe. As socialists, we know that the fascist violence that is on the rise is the kind of violence that capitalism breeds. A society built on greed and profit is destined to be violent. And the faster that we are hurtling towards catastrophe, the more that scarcity mentality is felt, the more violence it brings with it. A society that is built on the exploitation of others molds them that way. We will never get out of this crisis unless we confront the system that created